We're in Zwartkops, and this is the Bridgestone production cars. Welcome to the Westbank Super Series.
In this show, it's round number 6 of the Bridgestone Production Car Championship. And this time we're at Zwartkops for the first time this year. It's a tight, demanding track not only on the drivers but also on the cars themselves. With one eye on the car behind and one on the championship, points, needless to say, are all vital. And all the teams are aware that mistakes today will cost them dearly.
For more information on the Westbank Super Series, SMS the word Motorsports to 31329 or visit our website www.westbanksuperseries.co.za and stay in the loop.
Qualifying always a crucial affair here at Zwartkops. It looked as if the BMWs might just have the pace that was required, but they put it on pole position with Melville Priest and Henny Groenewald alongside him.
Oh, look at the next row, Anthony Taylor in the BMW and Richard Roots in the other.
And we went on to Johan Fourie, the champion, alongside him, Davy Olivier.
Then Chop Sapuka, Marco de Cunha in the Nissan.
And the fifth row was made up of Richard Pinard and Michael Stephen.
Team Afrox BMW, Melville Priest sticks it on pole. You've got to be stoked.
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, yesterday we were a little off the pace in the last few sessions. Did the new tyre run. We were 5th in the new tyre run. Today, this morning, the car was superb. You know, worked on it a bit last night. I was really struggling with the brakes yesterday. This morning it was just spot on and can't complain, eh?
All you got to worry about is getting down towards turn number 1 now and making sure the BMW is still out in front. Johan Fourie with a lot of work to do. The Sassel Subaru would like to come from behind. It is Sassel race day here at Zwartkops, and down towards turn 1. It looks like Henny Groenewald might have the drop as they go into turn 1 side by side.
BMW is certainly on the pace and they're happy all weekend. Of course, his regrets about maybe... Oh, hello, look at this. Absolutely into the dirt. It's Johan Fourie in the Indy Oils Audi. Of course, what happened there, you think, Greg?
Well, he just ran a little bit wide coming through turn 1. You can't get onto the marbles. It's going to cost you dearly. We're looking at Melville Priest's car back at Taylor, his teammate. But it looks like it is the Henny Groenewald car who's got to the front. And what a good start from Olivier. It's basically a Subaru sandwich with the BMWs, the meat and lettuce in the sandwich.
Well put there as well. Makes me hungry already. Of course, Team Afrox have come out in big force. Their whole team, a lot of PR, a lot of marketing to go with it. We're on board right now with Richard Roots. In front of him, of course, is Davy Olivier. Oh, a little touch there from the back. Hey, I'll just let you know that I'm here. I'm keeping it friendly.
Yeah, it was late braking there from Richard Roots, trying to keep on the back end. He wasn't able to just get out of that one. Behind them comes de Cunha. Then it's the first of the Engine Extreme Audis. That's Michael Stephen, Chop Sapuka behind. The Audis taking a little bit of strain here at Zwartkops.
Chops, I think, going down the inside. I spoke to him just before all the racing got together and he was feeling a bit more confident. Of course, the times didn't indicate that, qualifying only 7th. Back with our leader, it is Henny Groenewald, then the two BMWs, and then, as you say, lettuce, tomato, and another Subaru.
Yes, indeed. So Davy Olivier looking to get that Sassel car of his a bit higher up. The two Afrox BMWs around the outside comes the Rough Rider BMW. Looks like we're going to change up a little bit further back there too. Michael Stevens sneaking through, and de Cunha has been outdone. So the only normally aspirated car out there taking a bit of strain.
Indeed they are, and of course one has to wonder, and as we have the whole season, about Johan Fourie, the reigning champion. It is being confirmed to me now that they are concentrating on developing a brand new car.
Well, the more important thing is that he wants to try and retain the number 1 plate. It's not going to be easy when this kind of competition happens in Bridgestone production cars. And remember, there's a 2 8-lap heat races now, the sprint races, and then we're going to pick up a little bit later on in the action, the big main affair later on. So onto the top, into Sassel corner, and the Sassel Subaru is under massive pressure. That Rough Rider BMW of Richard Roots is not going to make it easy for him.
Yeah, big change for that car as well, because it was a 330i, it's now also a 335i. Not quite like the twin turbos of Anthony Taylor and Melville Priest at the moment, but certainly a lot of power there.
Chop Sapuka looking to make a move just like his teammate did on de Cunha. De Cunha slams the door. So the Sam Racing boys here from Zwartkops going past their facility on the right-hand side as they head up towards Sassel. There comes Sapuka. Still hasn't found a way past. Neither is Fourie. That's more important. Fourie is battling to get through this field.
Yeah, no, of course, I mean, it's the two Audis against each other, so there's not much of an advantage that Chops has on him. Of course, he needs to really just make things happen. A championship, well, it could be done and dusted this year.
Henny Groenewald leads out at the moment, though. Afrox BMW's Melville Priest and Anthony Taylor behind him. Then there's a little bit of gap now that's opened up to the Subaru of Davy Olivier, and he's under pressure all of a sudden. He has been almost all race, though, and there's just more and more intensity in that pressure coming every lap from Rechard Roots.
Yeah, well, we were speaking to him also on the weekend as well. He seems to be quietly confident, starting to get the cars really going now.
Change up Fourie ahead of Sapuka. He tucks in behind Da Cunha, looking for a way pass now as they go up towards Egypt corner, onto the braking markers. And Stephen hangs on, but only just. Marco Da Cunha is definitely putting the pressure on from behind as well. The Sam Racing boys have worked hard on that particular piece of machinery that he drives. As they get up towards Sassel corner, he goes onto the outside. He might cut the apex very late, try and get the drive on the little straightaway between 5 and 6. Now he can't able to do that because all of a sudden he had to go defensive, because have a look at that. It is the Indy Oil Audi right on his tail now and looking to get past.
Yeah, driving on this race course as it has been, it's very, very tight and very, very difficult. Not many places to overtake and, of course, little straights to talk of.
One that they'll have to look at is if Johan Fourie can keep on the outside and not go onto the dirt as they come through turn 1. If he keeps that outside line and forces Da Cunha onto the inside, there is an opportunity in turn 2. It looks like Da Cunha saw him coming though. He's gone to the outside line, maintains that outside line, and that means he's got the inside for turn 2, and he will keep Fourie behind him. But Fourie gets good drive. Look at that, awesome stuff onto the little back straight. And this is what it's all about. This is what Audi versus Nissan is at the back end of this field. The production cars right through the field. Battles are plenty.
Marco Da Cunha is no fool. He certainly knows how to drive, having a look on the inside, and he's going to be hoping for a better result, I'm sure, today. Two of our sprint races, and getting back to the leaders very, very shortly. But I'll tell you what, Johan Fourie is all over Marco Da Cunha again.
He certainly looks like he's going to try something up the top here, like Rechard Roots is trying on Davy. But you won't find a more talented man around this circuit than Davy Olivier. Remember, he took his first Subaru victory here, double victory on the day, in fact, in the old format. And look at that, Fourie on the outside into turn 7. Oh, on the dirt, Quattro coming into play. He's got this. Can he get him on the brakes? No, yes, he can. Look at that. Awesome stuff as they go through Goldwagen corner. And Fourie and Da Cunha not giving up anything.
At one stage, they were 3 abreast, I assure you. Very, very, very tight.
Awesome stuff as they come now. Oh, Da Cunha's running wide. He's making mistakes now. That's going to allow Sapuka through too. And now he comes into the grips of Richard Pinnard at the back in the Midas Group Subaru, the third of that Tim Kent team. He hasn't been in it really, but all of a sudden he gets gifted an opportunity to go with Da Cunha.
Early days for Da Cunha as well, but have a look at his left front side. It's got some serious rubber stains on it. Obviously there's been some argy-bargy out there, but isn't there always?
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say the same thing. They come out of Egypt corner, heading up towards Sassel now. This is a really awesome battle between the 3 Audis. They've now outdone the Nissan, and the Nissan's under pressure from the teammate to that man, who's under massive pressure from both the BMWs. There's only a couple of laps to go, and these boys are not giving anything up.
Well, they never do they? And that's what makes it exciting racing as well. And, of course, one of the best visited race courses on the circuit is right here at Zwartkops.
Checkered flag comes out, and it is Tim Ken that'll take the victory in that Subaru. Henny Kronwald behind the wheel. Afrox BMWs 2 and 3. Melville Priest and Taylor. They're going to be happy with that result, considering all the PR they put in. Davy Olivier finished up in 4th place, and Rechard Roots in the Rough Rider BMW, they're in 5th.
Let's have a look who came next, and of course we have 3 Audis, Michael Stephen, Johan Fourie and Chop Sabuka, then Marco Da Cunha in the Nissan, and Richard Pinnard bringing up the rear in the Subaru.
Absolutely superb drive. You must be absolutely stoked.
Yeah, more than happy. Other than getting onto the front row, we actually needed to get to the lead because we have been struggling a little bit with overheating. So if we had to sit in some dirty air, I think we especially would have struggled. And car was superb, and just being able to actually keep it in a line and a consistency that we actually needed to stay ahead of the BMWs.
Seconds out, and race number 2, I should say, not round number 2. Heading into turn 1, it is going to be the Rough Rider BMW looking to outdo Michael Stephen. He's done just that. As they get into turn 1, Davy Olivier around the outside of the Afrox BMW. And already action as they get it sideways into turn 1.
You know what, Greg, I love this inverted grid, when the winners start at the back, because, really, that's where all the action starts. And if you've got the likes of Priest and Henny Grunewald, who was the previous winner, coming from behind, things are going to be on the charge.
Grunewald looking from behind from Melville Priest, Afrox BMW 335R. He has got a very talented driver behind him, as we see Taylor sneaking into second and outdoing the Sassel Subaru of Davy Olivier. Behind them it's Michael Stephen, then we've got Melville Priest side by side, and as they go up onto the braking markers for Sassel corner, I think Henny Grunewald might have what it takes on the brakes, although he's being outdone by Stephen, and Priest tries to drive around the outside. A little tap on the inside from Stephen. He gets the little inside curb, put his car a little bit squirrely, but he managed to hang on.
Yeah, the thing about this race course, if you get out there and you keep a defensive line and just drive your race, you're going to have more often than not a chance to win this race hands down. Back with our leaders, no change there at all. It is really exciting. exciting racing. Oh, getting a little bit wide. Looked like Anthony Taylor there.
Yeah, Melville Priest being forced out, I think, by Michael Stephen. Taylor is just ahead there. And there goes Henny Grunewald. What a move from the Timken Subaru. Melville Priest was all worried about the engine extreme Audi of Michael Stephen. He didn't even see that car coming. And now has to go very defensive into turn 2. But unfortunately, it is the Timken Subaru who is on the inside corner. And he's got it.
So glad we're actually having a chance to actually mention Engine Extreme Audi. Michael Stephen in the mix there. Right on the heels of Johan Free, the reigning champion. Looks for a move on the outside, but Johan's not going to have any of that.
No, he's not going to let Chop Sapuka through at all. And then D'Cunha behind them. Three-way battle here as they go through Egypt corner. Indy Oil Audi versus Engine Extreme Audi. A little bit further up the field. Look at this battle too. Subaru, Audi and BMW. This is the kind of racing we've been expecting all year. Oh, a little bit of tapping. Oh, a little tap and barge there. Oh, Grunewald might have broken something there. There's definitely something wrong. He got very high out of the saddle and he manages to hang on. That four-wheel drive, taking on the two-wheel drive. He's slowing. There's a problem on the Timken Subaru.
I was going to say, I mean, how often have you seen that the BMW rear-wheel drive without gunning in the corner? Looks like you're right. He's got a problem.
He's gone into the pits. There's definitely a problem on that car. He's probably broken suspension or something on the back of the car because it got real high as he tipped that inside curb. And unfortunately, that might be the end of the day for race 1 winner. That's the most important thing here. He took the first victory and is now out of the race.
Yeah, but you know what? We've got the theme peak still to come, so if the mechanics, as I normally do, can get that car going, he could be back in the equation.
So we're halfway through this race, and Michael Stephen has probably driven the race of his life to try and keep Melville Priest behind him. It's not easy when you're underpowered slightly, and you can see he's not having the kind of power that these boys are having. This is our leader, Richard Roots, the Rough Rider BMW, and his stablemate, Anthony Taylor, right on his tail.
Yeah, Taylor's going to be pleased with this as well. I mean, he must have been going through his mind. Right now, let's get back on board. Anthony Taylor on the average BMW 335i. In front of me is that leader. What a great shot this is.
Dude, I can tell you something. This is 185 k's an hour before they hit the brakes into turn 4. We got a chance to drive with him on the Friday afternoon, and Taylor gives it everything he's got down to here, climbs on the brakes, one gear down, and just pitches it into turn 4, Egypt corner at 185 k's an hour.
Notice I was absent. You know why? Scared.
Yeah, I think you were. But it's okay. I'm sure we'll get another chance. Onto the braking markers at the top of the hill. It's the Engine Extreme Audi of Michael Stephen forcing Priest wide. Priest had to take evasive action. There was going to be a tap between the two of them. Let's open the door for recess. Thanks very much. If you can open the door that wide, I'm going to put you on the inside. But he just clips the inside curb and manages to keep Priest at bay. Yeah, it comes free. Onto the brakes into Goldwagen. Not able to make it stick.
Unbelievable. I mean, he tried left, he tried right. I mean, where's that Afrox BMW getting the power from today? Back with our leaders. Look at this. This is absolutely stunning stuff.
Love the fact that Reggie is keeping the two factory boys behind him. They are stablemates. They've all got Neo Africa on the side of the car, but it's Afrox versus Rough Rider, and Richard Roots wants a victory, and he wants it big time.
Yeah, he wants to keep him from behind. That's what he certainly wants to do. That's his main idea right now, and get maximum points here. It's a great shot of Farid on the chase down on that BMW. Michael Stephen still is in the mix there.
I love the fact that Stephen is keeping these two boys very honest. Melville Priest with probably a little bit more power than the Audi's got. The Audi's got the handling though. The four-wheel drive quattro system is definitely having to put in full effect here at Zwartkops as he comes onto the brakes. Round the outside, there goes the BM. Absolutely magically done there by Priest. No answer at all from Michael Stephen, and now he has to worry about his Audi stablemate, and that is Johan Farid.
Yeah, it's got some body damage there as well. We said this was tight. This is really, really tight for sure. Right now, 4, 5, and 6, and right in the mix of this great race.
Loving the fact that they're all bunched together once again. The three Audis, the Nissan of D'Cunha just behind Melville Priest. Now Priest, considering he was second in the first race, he's not going to be too happy about the performance of his car. They're going to have to do something between these two races. This is race 2 I'm talking about, and our feature race coming up a little bit later on.
All right, back on the track at the moment and still circulating right now. Not much being given, and of course, a lot of questions being asked though.
Yeah, a lot of guys trying to take though, especially this man. Look at Taylor. He really wants past Richard Roots. He doesn't want to be outdone by the Rough Rider BMW, but when Richard Roots is in this kind of form, he's a difficult man to beat. And look at that, Farid going to try and ride around the outside of Michael Stephen. Can he get the power down? He does. Side-by-side action. It is Audi 4 rings heading towards turn 5, and he drives around the outside of turn 4. That is mind-blowing stuff from Johan Farid.
Still there, D'Cunha is still chasing him down. He thinks, well, Johan Farid can do it. Maybe I can mug him as well. It's really, really tight here. There, D'Cunha in the Nissan, Michael Stephen in the Audi, and here comes Johan Farid again. He's been driving superbly in this race.
multiple tin top champion taking on a multiple karting champion. Michael Stephen on the inside. Faria was on the outside. He drove around the outside of him. I just can't believe he managed to make that stick, but he's done it, and he's pulling a bit of a gap now on Stephen. Stephen has to worry about this man, Dacunia, in the Tubular Tech, and Sam Racing, Nissan 350Z, looking for a way past. But he's also got to worry about the man behind him, and that is Chop Sapuka.
Yeah, Dacunia seems to be getting to his braking markers really on the money, and of course that's what's keeping his position at the moment, but it's not over yet, and of course there can't be that many laps still to go.
Right, so as they head up down the back straight away and up in towards Egypt corner, it's in Indy Oil's car and 2 Engine Extreme Audis taking on the Sam Racing Nissan. As they come out of that corner now, it's floor it, absolutely everything she's got, and try and get to about 180 k's an hour before you climb on the brakes for Sassel corner. Onto the braking markers, we might have a change up here. Stephen goes defensive. Dacunia tries to go around his outside, but he has the door firmly shut and has to shut the door himself on Sapuka. As Sapuka trying to get around the inside of him and around the outside in turn 5. Back to the leaders, 1 corner to go. That's Goldwagen. It's going to be Richard Rutz in the Rough Rider BMW to take a victory here at Zwartkops.
Great driving as well, and also notice in the mix once again, Team Afrox picking up some points.
Yeah, Taylor comes through in second place, Darby Olivier in the Sassel Subaru in third, Melville Priest second of the BMWs there in fourth place, and it's Indy Oil Audi of Johan Fourie in fifth.
Michael Stephen, Marco Dacunia, Chop Sapuka and Richard Pinnard and Henny Grunewald did not finish.
Class A winner, Richard Rutz. Congratulations, first of all. It's a long time coming. It's nice to get the camel off the back.
It's awesome. Just to show the guys that the old dog still got it. The course has really been awesome. Every race it's been getting better. I've been getting better, and I think we've really gelled now. Anthony was lenient on me there, but it was an unbelievable race.
Race 3 heading down towards the lights. It's a rolling start. This is the theme piece. A 15-lapper on its way and down towards turn 1. 2 BMWs looking to outdo the Subaru of race 1 winner, Henny Grunewald. And man, have they worked hard down there at the Tim Ken Subaru team to get that car sorted out.
Yeah, you'd expect that though. The boys are pros and they get some time to do it, and they really are working under severe conditions. But I'll tell you what, you won't get a better group of mechanics on the planet.
Taylor sneaks into second, then it's Melville Priest. A little sneaky move there from Darby Olivier to outdo the third BMW of Richard Rutz. Then it's Michael Stephen, then Johan Fourie as we go on board with Taylor for the first time.
Points at a premium as well, as you mentioned earlier on, double the points as well. We've had 2 brand new winners for the 2 sprint races, and of course this one is going to go down to the wire. There's no doubt, Greg.
Onto the braking markers, and already pressure being put on from both Afrox BMWs. Darby Olivier in the Sassel Subaru, he wants to be up there. He's the man who was the poster boy for this event, and he needs to show that Sassel have put their money where their mouths are and want to show some victories for his sponsor. He's already trying. He looks on the inside. Can he get past? Not this time, but a big look down the inside, and Melville Priest will know that he's under pressure and that Darby Olivier is coming.
On board with Anthony Taylor in the Afrox BMW 335i. And Melville Priest right behind him as well. So the BMW's in the mix. Watch out for that Subaru. Is looking ominous in the background.
Here he goes on the inside. What a move. You picked it perfectly into turn 2. He might be able to outdo him. Little bit of rubbing his racing as they came out of turn 2 there. Melville Priest, no answer. Could not keep the Subaru at bay, and it's actually dropped off about half a car length coming out of turn 3.
Right, action thick and fast at Zwartkops, but of course the crowd has turned out really well to view this spectacular. We told them to stick around, they've done just that.
And on the back straight away, you can see Michael Stephen having a little bit of problems at the back end here. He's definitely not on the kind of pace we saw earlier from him. The pace is definitely being set at the moment up front by that man in the Sassel Subaru, Darby Olivier.
Tyres haven't been taking that much of a strain, and of course normally the drivers say, well, you know, if the tyres are having a bit of a hammering, they'll mention it, but everything seems to be going according to what the plans that they put in place here at the moment. Back with our action as well, racing thick and fast at Zwartkops, and of course we're delighted to be here and bring you this race.
Sapuka moving up the field very nicely. He's going to try and maintain that position as leading Audi. Something that he hasn't done in a long, long time, and great to see Chop Sapuka up there and running the kind of pace that we know he can. Onto the braking markers down towards turn 2, difficult corner. It breaks away from you. It's an off-camber right-hander. And remember, the thing is, you come down to about first gear here in these cars and then gas it as much as you can. Short shift to second, then up to third, fourth gear, and 185 k's an hour before pitching it into turn 4.
It sounds like you're still in that BMW.
Man, it's awesome in that car, and I tell you, these cars are so well balanced. You can't believe the type of pace that these boys get out of him. And right now, the pace at the front is hotting up even more because the lap record is really within their sights. If it was a little bit hotter, I think we may even see it be broken.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of the racetrack. I went up there a couple of times just to see all of these corners and overtaking maneuvers. Really tight, but I tell you what, they get on the gas really quickly too.
Check out how Johan Fourie is hassling and haggling on the back end here of Chop Sapuka, but he's having none of it. He's soaking it up. This is Chop Sapuka at his best, and this is Henny Groenewald at full flight with a massive charge coming from that Afrox BMW of Anthony Taylor. Taylor's looked left, he's looked right, he's looked around the outside, he's looked on the inside, but there is just no way past that Tim Ken Subaru.
Well, not yet. Not yet, Greg. As you know, in this business, anything can happen.
And usually does.
Look at that, Chop Sapuka as well. Under pressure right now, and Johan Fourie is still chasing him down. Of course, he's got to watch it, because now he might get a little bit of a brake test.
Oh, hello! Could you call it any closer than that? Age of corner in the Indy Oils Audi, tipping the inside of the Engine Extreme Audi of Sapuka. That front right wheel is game over. He is not going to be able to finish the race with that wheel, I can tell you. After a big tap like that, we saw it a couple of race meetings ago, in fact, in Cape Town, where the Ford and the GTI of Formato and Nathan came together. Almost exactly the same thing there.
Yeah, it's actually quite scary. It's quite ironic, actually. Looked exactly the same accident, but on a different race course.
Same sponsors on the car, too. It's unfortunately not paying off for these two boys. Fourie is going to be out of it. Across the line, this is second, third, and fourth place now. And these guys not holding anything back. There's only a couple of laps to go. Richard Roots would love to see another victory, but he's got a lot of work to do. All problems. Michael Stevens pulling onto the side of the circuit there, and it looks like there might be a little bit of a fire in the car.
Yeah, I don't think he's realised that's happening. Maybe the marshals, and of course they're normally aware of these things, will get in there very quickly. But no danger. Right now we're on board with Marco Acuna, A22 in that Nissan. And of course, right now, he is looking for some points.
Check out Sapuka.
Yeah,
Sapuka's dropping back.
Yeah,
there's a problem on his car too, so the damage from that tap is definitely paying dividend. And unfortunately, it's going into the hands of the Nissan, not of the Audi man. Melville Priest now putting the pressure back on. There you can see Sapuka. Oh, look at that. Some massive problems there. That's another Audi that's off. That's all three Audis out of this race, and they're not going to be happy about that situation.
But it looked like engine and not tyre wear on that. That kind of smoke looked definitely like an engine.
It's a big pity for it, no matter what it was. Three Audis out of this race. It is a Subaru out in front, though, and Anthony Taylor into what would be Sunset Corner at this particular circuit, but we call it Sassel here. Anthony Taylor cannot find a way past Henny Groenewald, and I think Groenewald is going to make it a sandwich of victories. He didn't take the middle race, but he's going to definitely take the first one and possibly this third one.
You know, Greg, he's been the revelations. I mean, even from the start of the season, they didn't have it going well for them. Of course, development issues. They've actually worked on it, put in the time, and now look at it. He's shining.
He certainly is, and another victory for the Tim Ken Subaru. Taylor right on his tail doing his championship all the good it can, sitting in second place in that Afrox BMW. Third place was a fantastic effort from the second of the Subarus, the Sassel car of Darby Olivier, Melville Priest in fourth, and Richard Roots making it 3 BMWs in the top 5.
Let's see where the rest of the points went. Marco Acuna, Richard Pinnard, Chop Sapuka, Michael Stephen, and Johan Fourie. Worked hard the whole weekend. Just reward, I think.
Yeah, we started yesterday and we had lots of small little niggles, you know. a race car that stands overnight and then something goes wrong, you know. So we had lots of troubles yesterday, small little niggles. The guys worked extremely hard to get the car right. We had a brake problem since we started, and it went through the whole day today as well, so we had to look after the guys, especially with the BMs who are manic under braking. But anyway, we managed to go from I think I qualified 6th to a 3rd and to a 4th and another 3rd, so I am extremely happy, you know, extremely happy.
Made him work hard for it though, didn't you?
Yeah, look, I mean, the BMW's got superb pace, and the guys, Team Fox have been doing a fantastic job in the preparation of it. And coming from Zwartkops after we battled so much down there, we've certainly made the improvements, and it's clearly shown today.
It's been absolutely amazing. The gods were smiling on you today, Henny.
Yeah, maybe not in the second race, but yeah, except for the second race, we really had a good day and good weekend all in all. And you know, especially as we said earlier, Zwartkops was a difficult weekend, so we've come to this race weekend, and we've had some speed back in the car, and it's really credit to the Timken Subaru team. The guys have really worked so hard to get the car as quick as what it's been this weekend. And even after the little incident on the second race, we had some severe damage to the rear end of the suspension, and they got that all sorted out, so a big thanks to them.
So Anthony Taylor now extends his lead in the Bridgestone production car Class A Championship ahead of his teammate Melville Priest. It's a two-way battle at the front end. Michael Stephen the closest man to them, but he's now tied up if you hunt free for 3rd and 4th.
Hi, I'm Michael Stephen from the Engine Extreme Racing team. Join us at the next round of the championship in Cape Town, Killarney on the 2nd of October. Hope to see you there.
For all information on the West Bank Super Series, SMS the word motorsports to 31329 or visit our website www.westbanksuperseries.co.za and stay in the loop.
We're moving on to Class T just after the break. Join us then.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Second time in a row, Class T dominated by Michael van Rooyen's Ford Racing ST Focus.
Let's have a look at the group position at the moment. Michael van Rooyen, Gennaro Bonafide.
Second row was made up of Team Nathan's Kwambi and Graham Nathan.
Watch out for that one. Next, Gary Formato and Sean Duman in the other Fords.
Then we go back to Heinz Bazet in the first of the Mazdas and Kurt Alchin in his GTI.
Then the two GTIs of Essa and Modek.
Team Ford, Michael van Rooyen, second pole in a row. Must be stoked.
I am absolutely stoked. It's awesome having 2 poles in a row. The team has done an excellent job on the car in the last 3 weeks since Pakisa. We worked on some cooling, some suspension setups, and it has definitely paid off.
Is the Rustenburg Rocket going to be able to get down to turn 1 first, though? We'll have to wait and see. His 2 Ford teammates behind him looking to close down as quickly as possible on those 3 GTIs. It's basically 3 GTIs versus 3 Fords. And here we go, down towards turn 1. And Nathan on board with him in the India Oil GTI, going onto the back end of Kieran Kwambi. He goes defensive to try and keep Formato. And Kwambi runs wide.
That's going to be a bad mistake. Rocking and rolling on the outside. That's not going to do his car or suspension that much good.
Well, he manages to hang on to it only just. It's not like we saw last week on WSS where Simon Moss went flying down the right-hand side and still managed to keep second place. Kwambi wasn't able to do that and has dropped back 3 positions.
Gennaro Bonafide, we speak about him often as well. He hasn't had a really good run over the last 2 races, but I think he's finding maturity and maybe finding something in that car that'll bring him good results here today.
Now, Rob Green Motorsport, I know, been working on all 3 of these cars as they head up towards Sassel. Graham Nathan in 3rd place going defensive. He knows that he's got probably Formato on his tail. He's late braking into turn 5 and sneaks up on the inside of his stablemate, forcing him wide. Bonafide is not going to be happy about that. But look at that, Kwambi trying to keep Dumini at bay. So the battle between GTIs and the ST Focuses are in it.
You know what? He needed to be more aggressive on that, Gennaro Bonafide. He actually tapped off, and maybe it was the fact that it was a Nathan Motorsport car that did that, but he should have went for it.
Yeah, he had the line, there's no doubt about it, but running a little bit wide now. Every man and every car out there has run wide at some point on the circuit. Back on board now. This is Gary Formato's view of Kwambi. Does he keep it on the inside this time? Yes, he does. Looks like there's a problem. S has gone out in the first corner. So there was a problem going through there. We didn't pick it up on the cameras, but that is the end of S's first heat.
Oh, look at that. Umirable right on the money, Greg. 100%. Right now, back with our leader, Michael van Rooyen as well. Right behind him, Graham Nathan and Kwambi, those two Nathan cars. And here come the rest of the Fords.
Yeah, the Fords and the GTIs. Looks like Bonafide's got a problem, though. Whatever happened at the top of the hill in that first corner has slowed him down dramatically, and he's actually being outdone by the bodyman GTI of Kurt Alchin. Alchin now goes forward hunting. There's a red mirrored car out in front though, and that'll be Germany leading out Formato. Formato with lots of work to do. He cannot afford to be so far down.
Yeah, Alchin unfortunately is that far down and has been for the majority of the season. I just don't know why they can't get that GTI humming.
Well, we're heading back down to the coastal circuits again for the next round in Cape Town. And even though Alchin is from PE, he normally runs well in Cape Town. Oh, a little tap on Formato. Formato runs a bit wide, manages to keep it all together. But it's definitely costing him some time. And actually, I don't think it was a tap from the bodyman car. I think Formato just made a mistake on his own there.
Looking at these pictures, camera work absolutely spot on. Of course, when they get into the cockpit as well, it gives you a real new dimension about how fast these guys are going, Greg.
Two Fords out of Sassel corner. That is turn 2, the other Sassel corner on the circuit. It is Sassel race day, Bridgestone production cars. And these Class T boys are going all at it. Down the back straightaway. Bonafide now looking to try and catch onto the back of this man. And of course, his other GTI in front. And that is Kurt Alchin, who's just behind Gary Formato. And Formato seems to be battling here. Look at how he's having to throw that car into turn 4. Not as easy as what he'd like to be doing it. And his teammate is getting away.
Dumey on the money under the braking markers into that corner, followed by Gary Formato, Kurt Alchin, and then the youngster, Gennaro Bonafide in the Ferrota GTI, all chasing points.
Certainly got that car sorted out now. Whatever the problem was, is he's managed to find it. Formato's found something too. He sticks to the inside, Germany, no answer. Onto the brakes, into Goldwagen corner, and it is Team Ford. Formato now leading out Germany. Formato has that yellow tyres in transit Interfile GTI in his sights. And so does Nathan have that of Michael van Rooyen in the sights of the Induel GTI.
Yeah, that's certainly one man that he doesn't want to have larger than life in his rearview mirror, because when Nathan's behind you, anything can happen.
Well, considering that Nathan is about 1/10 of a second quicker at this stage than the Ford, Van Rooyen is going to have to drive very defensively to keep this Ford in the front end. He wants the victory, he wants it bad, but Graham Nathan wants it even more, because he knows that Formato is about 4 cars back, and now, well, he doesn't know that just yet, but Formato's actually snuck up into 5th place.
Yeah, not too many laps to go as well in this first of the sprint races as well. Can he hang on? This is the big question. He needs the points too.
So he does. They're coming out of Sassel. Looking for a way on the inside. Late braking once again from Nathan. But very defensive driving from Michael van Rooyen out of turn 7. This is the view of Graham Nathan. Probably the best side in the house of this particular battle. And onto the braking markers into Goldwagen. As they come out of Goldwagen, it's Florid. Give it everything she's got. Front-wheel drive car. And Nathan just cannot find an answer to this ST Focus in front of him.
Yeah, that first corner is actually quite demanding, because it's almost like an off-camber, and you have to go in there really, really deep.
It's not an easy corner to get through. This is one even more difficult. Nathan goes very wide. He's going to try and drive around the outside and maybe cut back on the apex. He does that. Can he get side by side? They are absolutely lit together, the two of them. But the Ford just has a little bit more power on the drive, and Nathan has to just back out of it.
Yeah, and Van Rooyen knows the track as well. He knew that if Nathan got on the inside of him as well, he wouldn't have got the drive into the next corner, which Van Rooyen was set up for.
And Van Rooyen managed to get a great drive out of turn 2. He's capitalised on it through 3 and through 4, and it's pulling a bit of a gap now on Graham Nathan. Only a couple of corners to go for these guys. This is only the first race. We've got 2 to come. The 8 lap is nearly done. We've got another 8 laps coming your way, and then the 15 lap theme piece.
I'm starting to drool at the prospect, I've got to tell you. Goes wide, brings it sharply in here. Great place to view the racetrack as well. Went up there, as I said earlier on. Absolutely fantastic. Drive all the way down into turn number 8. They've got to really get on the braking marker. Still our leader, Van Rooyen. Could be picking up the checkered flag here, Greg.
There's a good possibility it's going to be the first race victory here for Michael van Rooyen. Flag to flag, basically. The lights went out, he was not betted, and he is going to take the first victory for the Nando's Racing Ford Focus ST team. An awesome drive from Michael van Rooyen. Second place will go to the Indy Oils GTI of Graham Nathan, and third place to his stablemate, Kieran Kwambi in the Interfile GTI. For Marto and Germany, 4 and 5 in the Team Ford ST Focuses.
Let's have a look at some of the other results at the moment. Gennaro Bonafide, Modak, Kurt Alchin, Heinz Bizet, and Esser did not finish.
You got pole in qualifying and put you on the front row, and my goodness gracious me. Was it easy or was it tough?
It was very tough. Graham made it very, very difficult. In the beginning, I couldn't believe that he got past all the other golfs so quickly. And I knew I'm in trouble. And I pushed as hard as I could, but he just kept coming. And I had to fend off a couple of times. But, well, at least we could fend him for 8 laps.
Another 8 laps about to come. Can you get from the back to the front, though, Michael van Rooyen? Because your teammate Germany is going to lead the pack into turn 1. But Gennaro Bonafide drives around the outside. Kieran Kwambi tries to drive through the ST Focus.
I saw that as well. You can't do that. You just can't do that.
Well, he thinks he can. Let's see whether or not he can pull it off. Might be able to get on the early apex here on the inside of the corner. But on his outside, Van Rooyen is already through and looking to go past Kieran Kwambi. This is the view that we have from Kwambi's car. Very tight stuff as they're coming through turn 3. Onto the back straight now. This is where the braking has to be very, very late to maintain your positions. And Kwambi's done just enough to possibly keep Van Rooyen on his outside.
Got to take my hat off to Gennaro Bonafide. How quick was he around the outside? That was amazing.
Awesome bit of driving there from Gennaro to get off the line first. And the Ferodo onto the brakes, using those Ferodo brake pads to maximum use there. The same thing for Kwambi as he forces Van Rooyen back onto the outside. Van Rooyen knows if he stays on the outside there, or he tucks in though, I would have tried to stay on the outside to keep it on the left-hand side for turn 7. And then power it down this little straight. Oh, Nathan is under pressure though. We're on board with him, and all of a sudden, that's Heinz Bizet sneaking through.
Unbelievable. All the taillights lighting up in unison.
Loving this as they come onto the main straightaway. That MFC Mazda is now in the mix, and it's no longer a factor. It is going to be right up there with these Fords and GTIs, and another manufacturer coming to play here in Class T's battle.
Right, no sign of George Smallberg over the other Heinz Bizet candidate as well. I don't know what happened there, but we haven't seen him at all.
Problems with his car at the beginning of the weekend. He wasn't able to even get out into qualifying. So Smallberg is sat on the sideline and watched this battle from the sideline. Tomato looking at his teammate Van Rooyen and Kwambi. A bit further up there, Germany hassling the back end of Gennaro Bonafide. But Bonafide soaking up the pressure like a seasoned campaigner.
Okay, guys, so steady on here. Steady on, Sean. Guys are watching. Oh, has a look on the inside, on the outside. Gennaro Bonafide knows he's there. He's got a nice line. Duminy round the outside. Kieran Kwambi there behind him. Michael van Rooyen in the other Ford is putting pressure on Kwambi.
Pressure's all the way through this race. There's no doubt that it's a 7-way battle here for first place, because that's how close these guys are. Onto the brakes into Goldwagen one more time. Gary Famato looking for a way to sneak past Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen's not going to make it easy. There are no team orders in the Ford pit. It's every man for himself once you're out on track. And Van Rooyen is definitely doing probably one of the best jobs he's done for that Ford racing team here at Zwartkops. He looks for a way on the inside, but unfortunately Kwambi has got that line covered, so he has to follow line astern. So does Famato. Behind Famato, it is a very talented and very, very quick drive there from Heinz Berza. Berza is putting massive pressure onto the back end of Famato, and he's also soaking up the pressure that's coming from behind. And Graham Nathan is thinking to himself, how am I going to get through this pack?
Well, you're not, quite clearly, unless you just drive over them.
No, he can't do that. He's got to try and find a way past. The quickest man out there at the moment, Kieran Kwambi in the GTI. He is absolutely flying around the circuit, taking the pressure off himself and getting away from those other two Fords, trying to catch the leading Ford of Sean Germany. And in fact, he's going so well that he's only 0.05 of a second off Pinard's Subaru.
Really?
That's the kind of pace he was running. Awesome stuff from this young man as he comes out of the double right-hander, flicks it across into the left, down towards Goldwagen, and he's definitely closing on his stablemate. And Gennaro Bonafide doing a great job to keep the Fords at bay, but how much longer can he lead this race with 6 cars hunting him down?
Just have a look further back there, you'll see Graham Nathan as well, and of course the Mazda. Isn't it the widest Mazda you've ever seen in your life?
Yeah, I think he's probably gone with the MX-6 option as opposed to the MPS3. Right, so onto the brakes once again, into turn 2. There you see how defensive he has to go. He goes onto the dirt to keep Nathan at bay. Nathan wants past. He tries to get the power down. That GTI is really battling to get through this field, and I think Nathan is going to have to settle for sticking behind Berza and possibly even all the Fords.
Yeah, well, this isn't going to be a bad result if it stood like this as well for the Fords as well. They need picking up points, and Famato doing a sterling job at the moment. Just hasn't been quite on the money with that car today.
I just want to say, it's amazing how Nathan wasn't able to go with Van Rooyen. Whoa, Berza!
Saved it.
One wheel on the dirt coming out of Egypt, and he managed to just save it. I don't know how he did that. Thank goodness it's a front-wheel drive, because otherwise it would have been massive problems there. Now they come out. This is the top of the shelf. Past Zwartkops Owners Club. Double right-hander, very tricky corner, and you flick it over onto the left-hand side of the car and try and get the drive to get your way. Speaking of getting the drive, check out where Van Rooyen is. He is now a VTEC trailer on the back of that GTI.
Yeah, the other thing is, I mean, quiet and serious and going about his job. Not much in the form of Kwambi, have we mentioned, but he's there doing a sterling job.
Certainly is. Probably one of the best drivers we've seen out of him in a long time too, as he gets onto the braking markers now. Looking for a way past. Can't find it just yet. Sean Dermody is doing a great job. He really is. He's the lead forward. He's going on attack and on defense at the same time, and keeping the two youngsters from Nathan's Motorsport, one ahead of him and one behind him.
You don't want to give Kwambi a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, because believe you me, if he gets a sniff, he's in there.
He certainly is. And Van Rooyen will go with him, because Van Rooyen is right behind him. There's no doubt that Michael Van Rooyen has probably had the best day in that saddle that he's ever had, as he goes up the top of the hill one more time. There's Dermody going onto the right-hand side. He has to go defensive. He knows Kwambi's running quicker pace than he is, so he's got to try and find the corners earlier, get on the brakes earlier, and make it more difficult for Kwambi to find a way past. Kieran might be able to drive around the outside, but no. Dermody goes right to the left-hand side of the track as he comes out of 6 and into 7.
There is a danger with doing that kind of move as well. When you actually do come over quite wide, you leave the inside open. And of course, that's been exploited many, many times, and not just with Kwambi, but with everybody.
He certainly has, and the man who's trying to exploit it to the maximum at the moment is going to be that number 44 car, Van Rooyen. He can't find a way either. He's tried inside, he's looked on the outside, he's waited for Kwambi to make a mistake. But Kieran has not made a mistake here in this race.
I also want to say a big thanks to the forward team as well. If it wasn't for them colour-coding their mirrors, we'd be in serious trouble from here.
That's for sure. Maybe they should look at the option of running 3 different coloured cars, like Nathan's do. But right now, this is Kwambi's view. Down that back straightaway once again. Look at how he gets pulled away by that forward of Dermody's, and he's actually pulling away from the forward of Van Rooyen. For Marto and Nathan, our championship contenders, are not even in the top 4.
Yeah, well, they might just decide that they're going to conserve issues. I mean, we have the master theme piece coming up for the Bridgestone Production Car Championship. Their focus might just be on that, Greg.
I think that's possibly where they're definitely focusing on. MFC Mazda is leading out Graham Nathan. This is for the tail end of our Class T battle, because right now we have lost both Kurt Alchin and Nizam Essa. Essa managed to get his car sorted out for the start of the second heat, but it's gone down, and the checkered flag will come out here for race 2, and it's Gennaro Bonafide who will be a very happy man taking that victory.
Once again, Kwambi getting a 3rd.
Gennaro Bonafide takes the victory ahead of Sean Dermody in the Ford Focus ST. Kieran Kwambi in 3rd place, Gary Fumato in 4th, and Berza in the Mazda, they're in 5th.
A very wide Mazda indeed. Let's have a look at the rest of the results. Graham Nathan couldn't make anything happen for him. Modak, Van Rooyen, Alchin and Essa, who did not finish.
Gennaro Bonafide, well done.
Yeah, thanks. No, we had a problem in the first race when we went off, a plug came out, so we just fixed that in between the races. It was a completely different car, you know, the engine was running smoothly, and the first few laps Sean was right there, I promise you, pressurizing every single corner. I had to use a bit of craft there, a bit of, you know, blocking, a bit of moving, but it was clean, it was fair, and eventually I think we had enough pace to just keep ahead and maintain the gap without, you know, destroying. The tires still look great. So I think for the 3rd race, hopefully we can keep the consistency and get the Volkswagen up there with the reliability.
Ford, GTI, GTI, Ford, Ford, GTI. That is the top 6 cars heading into turn 1, and it looks as if there's already been a change-up as Germany sneaks through on Gennaro Bonafide, and now it's basically a GTI, a Ford, a GTI, a Ford, and then a little Mazda coming around the outside with Berza getting in the mix.
You know, I've got to laugh. Your linguistic skills actually blow me away at times, Greg.
Right, so up front, Michael van Rooyen, that's race 1 winner. He is now leading out Graham Nathan. Graham Nathan in second place, a much better start from Nate this time, and he wants to get through there. This is Kieran Kwambi's rear-facing view. There's a massive lock up there from Berza, coming into turn 4, and on his outside, look out for the Ferraro car. That is Bonafide. Look how close it is between these 2 red and white cars as they come onto the tailpiece and look to get past Kieran Kwambi. Oh, nearly touching between the 2 of them.
Very, very close indeed. It just took one little nudge there, and all 3 cars would have been in a huge mess.
Not what you want to see at the start of 15 laps of racing. Guys, there's 15 laps to go, just to let you all know, as they come out of turn 7. So up front it is Van Rooyen, and it looks as if the GTI battle is going to continue, and Gennaro Bonafide is not going to make it easy for Heinz Berza. You can see that Berza is on fire, though. He managed to keep Graham Nathan at bay for the whole of the second race. Now can he do the same thing? This is Formato looking to get past. So now Formato has to find a way past Berza, unlike what we saw in the first one.
Yeah, you have good days and you have bad days, and maybe Formato will consider this to be a reasonable day, but it's not over yet. There's still about 13 laps to go.
As we come out of turn 2, Formato's got a bit of pressure from Alchin. Here is a little bit further up the field, and Bonafide in Berza, Formato. This is how tight it is between these guys. Nothing in it, giving it everything they've got. These guys getting into the 109s. That's the kind of pace these guys were able to run. So really awesome stuff from our Class T competitors in Bridgestone production cars.
Well, let's see who's looked after their tyres in the first and second race, because they don't get to change their tyres in this main theme piece.
Onto the braking markers once again, and Bonafide, he's done it all day. He took a victory already, so he knows he's got the pace in that GTI. It's just a matter of trying to get through the field as quick. Oh, he gets a tap! Berza gives him a tap. How did he keep that one on the road? That was amazing driving. I can't believe Bonafide was able to keep that thing on the track. He didn't go off. He kept the front wheels on the road. He kept his foot in the pedal and manages to just hang on. Here's his onboard. Watch how he's going to work in his car. There you go. Full right-hand lock. Full acceleration, left-hand lock. There you go, the 2 cars, and only loses 2 positions. Amazing driving.
Well, he wasn't going that fast. I mean, really, let's be honest.
To be honest with you, dude, you try and save one of those.
I do that every night.
Oh, amazing stuff there, and great driving skills being shown by our GTI drivers as they come onto the back straight. Kwambi's under pressure. All of a sudden, it's Sean Duminy on his inside. Duminy gets good drive out of 3. He's going to be on the inside for turn 4, which means he'll overtake and take that position away from Kieran Kwambi.
He didn't have a prayer, did he, Greg? Not a prayer.
So this is the view from Kwambi now, trying to come back at Sean Duminy and go up the hill. Look at how Duminy goes defensive. Kwambi, very late on the brakes, tries to square the corner off, gets good drive, comes straight back at him. Oh, there's a problem though, Duminy slowing by some kind. I don't know, he shouldn't have slowed up that much. Maybe he missed a gear. Coming out of that corner, it definitely was a slower Ford than what we'd seen previously. And now Kwambi's got back at him, and that's just the way things should be in production cars. But you 1 for 1.
You saw him do it in the first, and you saw him doing it in the second. He's very, very strong on the outside, and he knows his car's got the power. He did it again.
Yeah, watch out. Here comes another reversal. Onto the inside for turn number 1. Duminy has a big look on the inside. Runs wide. That's perfect line there from the Ford. Coming out of turn 1. Now gets on the brakes. Oh, but Kwambi saw him coming. Sorry, Sean. It's going to be a tough day for you today, buddy.
No, but he looks relaxed. I mean, it's as if he could be actually drinking a Coke and eating some chips while he's driving that thing.
So we're looking at turn 7. There is a corner and a lap to go. It is Michael van Rooyen who is basically... Oh, there's a problem! The GTI goes past Van Rooyen like he was looking for parking. What has gone wrong? There's a front right flat.
Front right. You're dead right. Right on the money.
Can you believe that? With 1 lap to go. Oh, another car has delaminated. Oh, that front tire has absolutely exploded on that other Ford. The Fords are definitely having problems with these tires.
Gennaro Bonafide goes through, yeah. Michael van Rooyen just keeping it out of the way at the moment. Kwambi's through and he's going, thank you again. Can I just get another position other than a 3rd?
So Kwambi now moves ahead of Van Rooyen. Dumini's got a problem, so has Van Rooyen. It's GTI's 1 and 2 on the road. And it looks like it may even be GTI's 1, 2, and 3. There comes Duminy. He goes on the inside. I forgot about Duminy. He's still involved in this little battle. So there is a Ford still there, and it's Sean Duminy with Gennaro Bonafide, the possibility of getting ahead of Van Rooyen before the checkered flag comes out.
Is he driving on 3 tires?
He's carrying on. He's not giving up. That's exactly what the Rustenburg Rocket is all about. Michael van Rooyen definitely has got what it takes when it comes to survival. Now, can he keep that forward ahead of Gennaro Bonafide? He's only got 2 more corners to do it. Nathan's going to take the victory. He's going to be happy about that. He's going to extend his lead in this championship.
Yeah, looks like champion-elect as well. Not too many rounds to go, but I'll tell you what, he's done it again. Well done, Nathan.
Yeah, comes Gennaro Bonafide. He's got ahead of Van Rooyen. Can he sneak ahead of Germany as they come across the line? Whoa! Germany! Yeah, he put his hand up. He realized that. Germany actually climbed on the brakes real early as they came across the line, and Bonafide didn't expect that. Nathan takes the victory. Kwame in second, Germany in third, Bonafide and Bose, your top 5.
All action, here goes. Van Rooyen, Modek, Alchin, Formato and Essa did not finish.
The gods were smiling on you a little bit there, weren't they,
Yeah,
Sean?
definitely. It was a tough one. 15 laps is long. The tyres really battled. Brakes really battled. I just made it through in front of Gennaro. I almost stopped. The lamination was so bad and the steering wheel was jumping up and down. So, but we made it. So we third. Good comeback after the last 3 races. I'm happy. Yes.
Kwame, it looks like you've broken the camel's back when coming third. A second will do you well, won't it?
No, the second's great. We've had actually a great weekend. It's much better than the last weekends that we've had actually. The team have put in a huge amount of work. Graham Nathan, Steve Green from RG Motorsports. I'd like to thank Interfile, but I mean, it was an awesome race.
The final ending to the day. The gods certainly smiled on you today, didn't they?
Absolutely. We got very lucky. Michael unfortunately had a bit of a failure of some nature, and he just got out of it all of a sudden. All credit though to my team. They've worked incredibly hard to get my car running. We've battled the whole weekend. I've got the heaviest car out there virtually. Yes, I have, and it's just pure dedication by the boys, all of them. RG Motorsport, Indy Oil, Serengeti, Nathan's Motorsport, Kaedi Estates, a whole bunch of them.
So the big man on top of the podium once again and extending his lead in this championship. He really is going to be a tough man to beat. And as they go down to Cape Town at the next round, Formato, Bonafide and Van Rooyen have to go hunting for Graham Nathan.
Now let's have a look at the manufacturer standings as it stands, and extending the lead in the championship, Volkswagen 716, then BMW, Ford, the Audis, Nissan, Subaru, on a comeback, the Mazda and the Lotus.
Hi, I'm Graham Nathan from the Indy Oil Nathan's Motorsport racing team. Join us at Killarney for the next round of the West Bank Super Series on the 2nd of October. Hope to see you there. Have a good day.
For more information on the West Bank Super Series, log on to their website, westbanksuperseries.co.za.
That's a wrap of the Bridgestone production cars at Zwartkops Raceway. Next up is the Interfile South African Super Sports Championship, as well as the Engine Volkswagen Cup. I'm Guru. See you then.